Men of Reddit. What myth about men is 100% untrue and infuriates you when you hear it? Story 1. Men can't multitask. Every time I hear that, I have to stop what I'm doing so I can get angry. But actually, no one really is a good multitasker. We all just think we are. Mythbusters tested it, I think. Story 2. I really hate how fruity drinks are associated with women. Like, dang, can I just enjoy my strawberry daiquiri? I always order fruity drinks, and my wife always orders beers. Half the time, the waiter gives me the beer instead. Nobody scoffs when a dude's got a kick-butt Slurpee. But as soon as you add some rum, it's a girl's drink. If off. Story 3. No, I'm not going to a strip club. No. That doesn't mean I'm gay. See, also Hooters. That place sucks. And the last 2 times I was dragged there, I had beer spilled on me by the waitstaff because they hire based on flirting instead of the ability to actually serve food. Story 4. Men can't show emotion in public unless it's anger or greed or lust. Story 5. Get too close to a child and you are automatically branded a pedophile. I work as low tire manager in a toy store, and even though I have company t-shirt and name tag, people still ask me if I work there. People still look at me weird when I'm going around the store doing whatever. It's sometimes hard to ignore. I just hope people will understand that working at my dream job doesn't mean I want to do stuff to their kids. It hurts sometimes. Edit. Thanks so much for all the comments and my first silver. If I don't answer immediately, I'm sorry, but sleep calls and I got work tomorrow. Have a great day. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And as someone who works in a toy store, piece of advice: buy toys now. Give it a few weeks and everything popular will be gone. Much love. I used to eat my lunch at a local lake that has a park next to it. I would park facing the lake with a park behind me. I just sat in my car, listened to podcasts, and ate my lunch. One day, a lady called the cops on me for being suspicious. Said she was afraid for her child's safety. Luckily, the cop was cool and told the lady I was free to eat there since it was a public place. But I didn't really want to risk getting a not cool cop in the future. So goodbye. Calming lake. Hello depressing parking lot. Edit. I appreciate the support. I'm going to go ahead and start going again. I shouldn't really have let one incident over several years of eating there deter me, but it just made me really anxious. Story 6. A man who works at a daycare is a pedophile. Every year, there are people who complain, I work there. Jesus, what a load of bullcrap. As if guys can't be nurturers who like children or even just work there because they need the job. Story 7. Getting hard means we want to do it. Even as adults, they can still be random or lack of. Getting hard means we don't. Story 8. Daughter to a single dad here. There was this myth I discovered when I was young. It's something almost all my female friends were told, but thankfully not me. The myth is the belief that there are such things as girl business, where only your mom or other older females in the family should help you with. As the only girl in the house growing up, my dad helped me understand and deal with a great many girl business problems. Meanwhile, all my friends had their moms to handle it for them. When my friends found out my dad was sort of in charge of handling those with me, they were shocked. They asked me why I didn't have an aunt or grandma to help instead. Well, my aunts all live at least 10 hours away, and grandmas even further. I began to realize over the years that there might actually be negative side effects to this girl's only way of thinking. Sure, having another female assist you with those issues might be less awkward and embarrassing, but there's already an inherent awkwardness and embarrassment associated with it. Learning to overcome the embarrassment is part of growing up and accepting your body. Furthermore, I have since grown up and began studying psychology and done some research into this. Further, for my studies, I'd have to do a more in-depth and wide-reaching survey and analysis to come to findings I'd be comfortable with being peer-reviewed. valued. But I have a theory that the girls' only mentality causes relationship issues later in life. Young girls grow up thinking that there are some aspects of womanhood men not only don't understand, but can't understand. It makes them not only less trusting of male partners, but also keeps them from seeing a man as an equal when it comes to parenting. Edit number 1. Thank you to the guys who have sent me private messages to say thanks, and to the few who asked for some advice. I wish you the best of luck. Adds to the myth that all men are grossed out by menstruation, and even the mention of it will send us screaming. I shared a bathroom with my sister growing up, and I'm a scientist. I think I'll be okay. Also, growing up with it being normal lets us help out when needed. As a college teaching assistant, I always had a few things on hand when teaching long lab classes, including hair ties and tampons. Story 9. The whole men think about doing it every 7 seconds thing. If you think that's true, I have a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. Is the bridge attractive though? Story 10. Men can't be abused by women, or that men can get assaulted and harassed by other men. I've had some very pushy gay men approach me, one going as far as trying to touch my butt in my dome, inside my underwear, after I said like 3 times that I'm straight and not interested. Luckily, the woman I was out with immediately chastised that guy. But to be honest, guys laugh at me when I tell that story and talk about how badly they would have beaten him up. Woman who I've told always reacted shocked and emphatic. Story 11. That we cannot parent, as well as a woman, that we need a random woman to come hold a man's child because they're crying, that we are babysitting when our spouse isn't with our babies. Yeah, that stereotype is so dang dumb. I mean, I changed thousands of diapers and it never bothered me once. I was perfectly capable of dressing my kids. I know how to open a jar of baby foods. I wash and hang all my kids' clothes and uniforms. I'm not looking for a prize, but I'm also not looking to be treated like I'm an idiot. Story 12. We are all unable to control our nature to want to do it. Believe me, if I couldn't control myself, you'd have noticed by now. I'm the oldest of 3 girls, and my mom raised us by saying that all men only want one thing, and they will do anything to get it. Even great people, we are all deeply paranoid of men and hyper-vigilant parents, and have really messed up relationships. And holy crap, I'm having a revelation. Story 13. That if we like children, but don't have children of our own, we're automatically given, at the very least, a little grilling. If not straight out asked if we're a pedophile. I like dogs too, for pretty similar reasons. Nobody ever asks me if I'm a dog lover. Are you a dog lover? Story 14. That we're all not interested in or incapable of being involved in the planning of our weddings. I cannot tell you how many comments, like remember, it's her day, not yours, I received during the 2-year lead up to our wedding. I'm not going to lie to you and say I've been looking forward to getting married since I was 12 or something, but I took an active interest together with my wife in the planning of our wedding. It's not my day, it's hers. Screw that. It was our day. We planned it together. Her vision definitely brought it all together, and she did an astounding job. But she didn't just make decisions on her own. We talked together about and worked together on every single thing involved in the event, and we were both ecstatic with how it turned out. It turned out beautifully. I try not to toot my own horn very often, but I never thought the best party I'd ever go to would end up being my own parents, who are in an incredible, cooperative, supportive, happy, married relationship, and are the best parents I could have possibly asked for. For the record, gave me grief about this sort of thing when I was telling them that if and when I get married, I want a smaller, not exorbitantly expensive wedding. They both, especially my dad, insisted that my hypothetical fiancé would be the one calling all the shots. Now that I type it out, I have to wonder if that's them perpetuating the stereotype or calling me spineless. Story 15. It's getting better now, but back in the day, basically every guy on TV was a sports-obsessed car or motorcycle-loving, beer-swilling, who couldn't function without his wife to look after him and the kids. My wife went away last week for work, and I'll have you know that only half my kids got eaten by wolves. You did your best, man. Wolves always hunt in packs, so you were probably outnumbered. Story 16. that men find it normal to cheat and brag about it. Holy moly, never expected this many upvotes. Never mind silver and gold. Thanks, kind people. Any man who cheats on someone loses my respect instantly. Same goes for women, and I'm sure my feelings are shared by most guys. I don't understand why people assume that. I don't know why me saying cheaters were bad deserved golds, but thanks for that. And the silver kind. Strangers, please like and subscribe if you've made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of this video and have a wonderful day. Story 17. Men think about doing it every X amount of seconds. I'm a grown man with a life. I have more to think about than just doing it. Agreed. I also just thought about doing it. Story 18. Men just wait around for a woman to inform them that they are now dating. I'm not trying to claim that women come up to me in bars, especially often, but on the rare times they do, there's a definite sense of I'm under no obligation to actually attract you as a mate. I exist and am female, and therefore, by default, you want to date me. Once, when I tried to politely decline, the woman chastised me in a bar for 5 minutes, demanding to know what my excuse was, what reason I could give her. She simply assumed that the default was that I, as a man, want to date any woman, and that I have to justify not being attracted to a specific one. Had a woman approach me in a bar the other night, and about a minute into the conversation, I let her know, very matter of fact, that I needed to be somewhere, so I wasn't hanging around. She just stopped and said, "You don't fancy me?" I said, "Sorry, I've got to go." Crosses my mind now just how confused she looked. Story 19. Men are worse communicators than women. Really depends on the man and the woman. Story 20. That we can never not be in the mood, and if we are, we must be sick or cheating. I'm in a lot of girl groups on Facebook, and you'll get some posts from women saying that their boyfriend doesn't want to do it as much as she does. You will literally get hundreds of comments saying that he's either gay, cheating, or doesn't love her, or doesn't find her attractive anymore, even when the poster would say that he's on antidepressants, or that he's gained or lost a load of weight. Everyone tells her to leave him because he's not a real man. I've gotten into a lot of arguments with other women when I tell them not all men are thinking about doing it all the time. Story 21. That dads are dopey morons, barely capable of caring for themselves, let alone their kids. My girlfriend of almost 9 years made a joke like this in front of her friends after we started living together. The first time I let it slide because I wasn't sure what she meant. I asked in private, and she didn't know. She just said it. The second time, I stopped and said, "Who's the one that goes grocery shopping for healthy meal preps that you end up wasting? Who does 90% of the cooking? When was the last time you cleaned the counter, let alone the toilet?" She's never brought it up since. I met dudes that complain about this, but then use it as an excuse to be lazy. If I did that, we'd be living in filth, and I just don't have that in me. Story 22. Showing emotion is weakness. It isn't. We have just as many emotions as women, and our emotions are just as valid. I just bought a lineup, then have major breakdowns every 6 months. I don't know if it's healthy, but it's efficient. Story 23. Ski racer. I didn't sleep well the night before training. Told my female coach I was really tired, and I was worried I'd hurt myself if I tried to push it. She didn't care. Said man up, and race ended up crashing bad. Broken leg, not being able to ski for the rest of the season. Made a promise with myself to never speak to her again, whatever the circumstances. Wow, what a crappy coach. Did she apologize or say anything to you after? Story 24. Not sure if it counts as a myth, but most TV portrayals, the guy's a dumb butt and depends on his wife for literally everything. It's annoying and played out. I don't know anyone close to my age that lives like that. Quick edit: I do know plenty of old people that do in fact live like those portrayals, or did before their respective divorces in some cases. Homer Simpson was always a bit of an idiot, but he also sacrificed everything for his family and worked hard to provide for them. But now, they just write him like he's some worthless bum who does nothing and is a burden to everyone around him. If any of the newer Simpsons writers are reading this, if you suck. Story 25. Just because I have a dong and you have a hole doesn't mean I'm trying to get in your pants. I want friends, just like anyone else. But when I try to talk to people like my guy friends, they assume I'm trying to date them. No. I just like asking my friends how they were because I hate people who only talk to you when they want something. So I talk to everyone as a show of, you are my friend, not the services you offer. I was at a festival recently and offered a chick some water since it was really hot out. Her friend stormed up to me and screeched, "She has a boyfriend," without saying a word. I turned, looked at her, and pointed to the 3 different rainbow objects on my body, then to my husband standing next to me. She looked like, oh, whoopsies. A few minutes later, the girl I offered water to came up and apologized to me over it. That was the first time I had ever, even remotely, experienced something like that. But your statement is so true. Somehow me offering water to someone when it's like 90 outside means I want to get in bed with them.